Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pager here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 2. So this is going to be my review for episode 17, otherwise entitled Flashback. So before we get into that, I did reach 10,000 subscribers recently, so I will be doing a giveaway to show my gratitude for reaching that milestone. Now, I will talk about it at the end of the video, so stick around until then to find out more about this giveaway. So this episode focused on Barry trying to get faster in any way possible to attempt to take down Zoom. Now we learn that apparently Barry, Zoom and Reverse Flash all have the same leg speed essentially, but Barry has his feet planted to the ground longer than the other two, which is why he appears so much slower. Now one thing I found interesting that a lot of people might have skipped over is that Wally is invited to work on an engineering project, which is basically a big hint hint, nudge nudge, kid Flash, kid Flash. Now thanks to Wally wishing he could go back to talk to classic engineers that could help him with this project, Barry gets the idea to actually go and speak to Wellsabard Thorne, or Harrison Wells / Eobard Thorne, hence what happens for the majority of this episode. Now when Barry does go back in time, he goes back with like a guideline and a plan, basically engineered by Cisco, but thanks to a time wraith, he pops out at the wrong time. Now, I really liked his little encounter with his younger self, which I thought that was going to be like the only time we saw that encounter, so I was surprised later in the episode when we got another encounter like this, but I did like the little fight that they had, and it shows that how more experienced Barry is, because he took down his younger self quite easily. I think the favourite part of this episode for me was Barry and his little interactions with Eobard Thorne, especially when Eobard Thorne actually finally realised that, hey, hang on, this is not my Barry that I've been hanging out with for the past couple of months. This is a completely different Barry. And it was awesome as well to see Eddie back, and his awkward interactions with Joe. I completely forgot about that from season 1, how every time he spoke with Joe, he always say like one word that would like be sort of like some sexual innuendo, and Joe would be like, oh, hold back, and Eddie would get a bit embarrassed. Love that in this episode. It was a shame we didn't get too much Eddie, but Eddie ended up being like a pretty big focus for this episode, even though he didn't have that much screen time. And I know what you were doing, Flash Team, trying to get us with that jump scare when the time wraith popped out for the first time. I saw that in the trailer, so I knew it was coming. If I didn't know it was coming, I have my volume up pretty loud, and I probably would have got scared. So Eobard Thorne does explain to Barry about the time wraiths and about essentially that they're after people who have travelled back in time but really don't know what they are doing. So he actually initially thought that they were coming after him, but he's like, hold on, I've not stepped a foot wrong. It's this idiot, this future Barry that's come back that's just doing whatever he wants. That's why the time wraiths are after him. I did like the ultimatum though that Barry gave Eobard, even though I was thinking the whole time about why Eobard Thorne wouldn't ask Gideon about the near future, about if anything had changed, like, you know, Eddie dying. You thought that he might have thought about doing that, but he didn't. When Cisco was losing his shit with future and past Barry, like pointing at each of them, I was laughing so much because he was just freaking the hell out. He was like, oh god, this is hurting my brain. I was like, I just couldn't control myself. I was laughing so much. Probably the most I laughed in this episode. Now, Barry's arrival back to the future was pretty cool as well, especially seeing that Harley Rathaway was there. Because initially when the gloves came out, I thought it was Earth 2 Harry that was just wearing the gloves, like Star Labs had kept them and realised that that was what could drive away the time wraith. But then Harley Rathaway came out, I was like, oh, so he's on the Flash's side and he's sort of living a normal life now, which is pretty good to see as well. But a lot of people might forget that this could open a door, because Pied Piper is meant to be a villain, so next season or something could happen to Harley Rathaway, and you know, he could be a villain again. Now, Earth 2 Harry mentions his wife for the first time, I think, in this episode, when talking about Jesse, which was quite interesting. It'll be interesting to see if he follows up on that in the next couple of episodes, mentioning his wife more. And the feels for this episode, as I said before, came when Barry shows that video message from Eddie from the past, which obviously Iris was crying, and I was like, damn, that's heavy. But I was hoping that maybe the timeline might have changed and Eddie might still be alive, because I liked Eddie. Even though you because the whole point of Eddie being casted in season 1 was he's a guy that's got the girl that Barry wants, the main character, but he's a guy that you can't hate. Like, I don't think many people hated Eddie. It was pretty hard to hate Eddie. He was such a likable character. Now, I'll speak about that tachyon thing, because that'll be the last thing I'm talking about. So with that tachyon equation thing that Eobard gave Barry, that would have been used to create that device we saw on Barry in the Supergirl crossover episode yesterday. So I was hoping he would be wearing it at the end of this episode, then like speed away trying to go get Jay or Zoom, and you know what I mean? But it just ended with him holding Jay's helmet, which I found a bit disappointing because I thought it would have led into that Supergirl crossover. So maybe there might be some mention of it next episode. We'll have to wait and see. So overall, I thought this episode was really, really fun. I knew even before watching it that this episode was going to be a lot of fun to watch. Just going back to Season 1, and even the characters acting like their Season 1 selves, like Caitlin acting like a Season 1 self because she hasn't experienced... She's still experiencing like that death of Ronnie initially, but not the... Ronnie's come back and died again, and even Jay's dead as well. None of that. I also did like Cisco's little mentions about like, I don't have ESP, guys, why do you keep acting like I do? But then we know that he eventually gets those vibe powers, which is essentially almost the same thing. And actor of the episode has to go to Tom Cavanagh, playing both versions of Harrison Wells. I thought he was really good, because he has to go back and play that Season 1 character when he's playing this Season 2 version of Harrison Wells, and they're completely different characters, so you have to give him a round of applause for that, because I think he did really, really well. So now we're getting to the giveaway that I mentioned before. So all you have to do, basically what it is, it's t-shirts. So there's 2 t-shirts to go to 2 different people. So you have a selection of a Flash t-shirt, a Green Arrow t-shirt. If you've seen some of my videos where I do wear a Green Arrow shirt, it's similar to that one. I think it's a darker green. A Superman / Supergirl t-shirt, and a Batman t-shirt. It's like a classic Batman t-shirt. So if you want to be in the running for that giveaway, all you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment with basically what was your favorite part of this episode. That's all you have to do. Just leave them in the comment section below, and I'll announce the winner in my next Flash review. So thanks for watching, guys. As per usual, leave a like on the video, leave a comment and subscribe to be in the chance for that giveaway, and I'll catch you guys on my next video. Goodbye.